Welcome to Mindlet Story. Monsters of the Past. The Megalodon. The ocean has a talent for keeping secrets. Long after the last roar of a Tyrannosaurus faded on land, something even more terrifying still ruled the seas. Imagine standing on a quiet shoreline millions of years ago. The water looks calm. Then the surface breaks. A shadow passes beneath the waves, longer than a school bus, heavier than a jet, armed with teeth the size of your hand. You wouldn't hear it coming, you wouldn't see it clearly, and you wouldn't survive it. This was the age of Megalodon, the largest predatory shark to have ever lived, and one of the most misunderstood animals in Earth's history. Megalodon didn't just appear fully formed, like a monster dropped into the ocean by fate. Its story is one of evolution, adaptation, dominance, and ultimately extinction. A rise and fall written not in stone monuments or bones, but mostly in teeth, thousands upon thousands of them, scattered across the ocean floor like clues from a crime scene that spanned millions of years. To understand Megalodon, we have to rewind the clock more than 20 million years to a world that feels both familiar and alien. The continents were closer to their modern positions, but the oceans were warmer, richer, and crowded with life. Whales were just beginning their evolutionary experiment, transitioning from small, primitive forms into larger, fully aquatic giants. Seals, dolphins, and early baleen whales were spreading through the seas, unaware they were providing the perfect buffet for a new apex predator. Megalodon's lineage stretches back even further, to ancient sharks that survived mass extinctions and outlived countless rivals. Sharks as a group are older than trees, older than Saturn's rings, older than most life on land. Their success lies in their design: cartilage instead of bone, efficient swimming bodies, and teeth that regenerate endlessly. Megalodon inherited all of this, and then evolution turned the dial all the way up. For a long time, scientists argued over Megalodon's true family tree. Early researchers believed it was simply a gigantic version of the modern great white shark, a direct ancestor scaled up to monstrous proportions. That idea stuck in popular culture, and it's easy to see why. The shape of the teeth is strikingly similar: triangular, serrated, built for slicing flesh. But modern research suggests a more complicated story. Megalodon likely belonged to a different branch of shark evolution, a cousin rather than a parent to the great white. Similar design, different lineage. Evolution, after all, loves to reuse what works. What truly set Megalodon apart was its size. Estimates vary, but most scientists agree it reached lengths of around 50 to 60 feet, possibly more. That's almost 3 times the length of a great white. Its jaws alone could span nearly 7 feet across, wide enough to swallow a human whole without even needing to bite down. Each tooth could reach over 7 inches long, thick and heavy, designed not just to cut, but to crush bone. And Megalodon didn't need to chew. Like modern sharks, it tore massive chunks of flesh from its prey, shaking its head to saw through muscle and bone. Bite force estimates suggest Megalodon had the strongest bite of any known animal. Stronger than Tyrannosaurus rex, stronger than any crocodile, stronger than any shark alive today. One bite to the ribcage of a whale could shatter bones like glass. But Megalodon wasn't a mindless killing machine. It was a strategic predator, perfectly tuned to its environment. Fossilized whale bones tell a chilling story: deep bite marks on flippers, tails, and rib cages. These weren't random attacks. Megalodon targeted the parts of a whale that would immobilize it first. A damaged tail meant no escape. A crushed rib cage meant collapsed lungs. The hunt was efficient, brutal, and devastatingly effective. Young Megalodons likely didn't start out hunting whales. Evidence suggests they grew up in shallow coastal nurseries, safer waters where smaller prey was abundant and larger predators were scarce. These nursery zones gave Megalodon pups a head start in life, allowing them to grow rapidly before venturing into deeper, more dangerous seas. Even as juveniles, they were already larger than most adult sharks alive today. As Megalodon grew, so did its appetite. An adult would have needed thousands of pounds of food every year just to survive. This constant hunger helped shape entire ecosystems. Where Megalodon swam, other predators stayed cautious. Smaller sharks gave way. Whale populations were pressured, influencing their migration patterns and even their body sizes. Some scientists believe the rapid evolution of larger whales was, in part, a response to Megalodon's reign, a dangerous arms race between predator and prey. For millions of years, Megalodon ruled unchallenged. It survived climate shifts, changing sea levels, and evolving competitors. But dominance in nature is never permanent. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, the world began to change in ways even Megalodon couldn't adapt to. Around 5 million years ago, Earth's climate began cooling. Ocean temperatures dropped, ice caps expanded, sea levels fluctuated, shrinking the warm, shallow coastal waters Megalodon relied on for nurseries. At the same time, whale species began to change. Many grew larger and started migrating to colder waters, escaping into regions Megalodon struggled to inhabit. And then came competition. The oceans were no longer Megalodons alone. New predators emerged, sleeker, faster, and more adaptable to colder climates. Early ancestors of modern great white sharks began to spread, along with orcas, highly intelligent hunters that worked in coordinated groups. Unlike Megalodon, which hunted alone, orcas used teamwork, strategy, and communication. They could harass, exhaust, and even kill animals larger than themselves. Imagine a massive Megalodon used to dominating everything it encountered, suddenly facing packs of agile, coordinated predators. Not a fair fight, not an easy one. Food scarcity became a serious problem. A body built for immense power requires immense fuel. As prey became harder to find and warmer waters disappeared, Megalodon's size, once its greatest advantage, became its downfall. Evolution had given it everything it needed to rule a specific world. But when that world changed, there was no smaller, leaner backup plan. By around 3.6 million years ago, Megalodon vanished from the fossil record. No dramatic last stand. No single catastrophic event. Just a gradual fading, generation by generation, until the oceans fell silent of its presence. The king was gone. And yet Megalodon refused to stay buried in prehistory. For centuries, massive fossil teeth were found by fishermen and coastal villagers who had no idea what they belonged to. Many believed they were petrified tongues of dragons or sea serpents, calling them tongue stones. It wasn't until the 17th century that scientists began to understand these were the remains of ancient sharks, proof that the world had once been home to creatures far larger than anything alive today. Even now, Megalodon captures our imagination like few extinct animals can. Perhaps it's because the ocean still feels mysterious. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about our own deep seas. That mystery leaves room for speculation, rumors, and the occasional claim that Megalodon might still be alive. Science, however, is clear. An animal of that size could not exist unnoticed in modern oceans. It would need enormous amounts of food, leave unmistakable evidence, and be impossible to hide from satellites, sonar, and global fishing activity. The Megalodon of legend belongs firmly in the past. But its legacy is everywhere, in the design of modern sharks, in the scars etched into fossilized whale bones, in the evolutionary pathways shaped by fear and survival. Megalodon reminds us that nature doesn't care about size alone, it cares about balance, adaptability, timing. For millions of years, Megalodon was the ultimate expression of what a shark could be. Not a monster born of fantasy, but a real animal shaped by real pressures in a real world. And when that world moved on, even the greatest predator to ever swim had to follow the same rule as everything else in Earth's history. Nothing lasts forever. Somewhere beneath the waves, sharks still glide through the darkness, descendants of an ancient legacy older than dinosaurs. They are smaller, faster, different. But in their silent movement, in the glint of their teeth, there's an echo of something enormous that once ruled the seas. An echo of Megalodon, the shadow that time itself could not quite erase. Megalodon's story continues to fascinate us, not just as a monster, but as a key to understanding ancient marine life. It helps us appreciate the scale and dynamics of past marine ecosystems, revealing a world vastly different from our own. Its fossil record provides invaluable data for paleontologists studying ancient marine environments. These massive teeth and vertebrae paint a vivid picture of a bygone era, offering clues to prehistoric food webs. This enduring fascination also subtly fuels conservation efforts for modern sharks. By understanding the apex predators of the past, we gain perspective on the delicate balance of today's oceans. Modern sharks, though smaller, play a similarly vital role in maintaining ocean health. They are crucial apex predators, ensuring the balance of marine ecosystems. However, many shark species today face unprecedented threats, pushing them towards extinction. Megalodon's fate reminds us that even the most dominant species can disappear. Our fascination with Megalodon should inspire us to protect its living relatives. We must safeguard these essential predators for the health of our planet's oceans. Thank you for watching Mindlit Story. See you in our next video.